www.memberspeed.com. Profitable eBay Tips and Traits of Successful eBay Sellers by Jeremy Gislason. Make no mistake about it, selling on eBay is simple, and you can learn how to do that by just browsing the site. But if you're serious about your business, then the point of selling on eBay is to make a profit. The biggest advantage of online auctions is that they expand a seller's market from a relatively small group to essentially anyone with a computer and access to the internet. What this means for you and as an eBay seller is that you've stepped into a level playing field that's populated with sellers that range from small part-timers who may not even post an auction a month to huge multinational corporations with hundreds of items up for sale at any given time. And get this, your chances of profits and success are just as good as theirs. Astonishing, isn't it? If you want to sell merchandise to consumers, eBay is a great way to do that without having to deal with the overhead expense of having a retail store. Now, on the other hand, if you already have a retail operation, eBay opens up a tremendous market for you at virtually no additional cost. The simple fact of the matter is that millions of dollars are spent and earned on eBay every single day. And if you want to sell merchandise or services of any kind, you can't afford to overlook this lucrative sales channel. By now, you're probably wondering how to get started building your own profitable eBay business. But before I jump into the details, let me give you some quick and useful tips for running your own auction on eBay. Tip number 1, always provide an accurate description of the item you're selling, including all the terms of the sale and who will pay the shipping costs. Tip number 2, you should always respond quickly to any questions bidders may raise during the auction. Make it a point to contact the high bidder as soon as possible after the auction closes to confirm the details of the sale. Tip number 3, ship the merchandise as soon as you receive payment. As you can see, the key ingredient to a successful auction is communication. Now, at this point, you must understand that your success on eBay will not be due to any one thing, but rather a combination of various factors. With that in mind, here are the 5 traits that successful eBay sellers have in common. Trait number 1, they are in the habit of treating their eBay activities like a tried and true business. If you want a serious eBay operation that will earn you a heck of a lot more than pocket change, you have to start treating it like a business. What this means is creating a separate business entity with a name, bank account, proper licenses, and so on. In addition to that, it means finding suppliers you can rely on and building solid relationships with them. Prepare yourself to ship all the items promptly, provide outstanding customer support, and leaving timely, accurate feedback. Trait number 2, they find a niche and build on their own expertise. Remember this, you cannot be all things to all people. It's impossible for any single person to be an expert in all of the categories of merchandise on eBay. Successful eBay sellers specialize in 1 or 2 areas. They establish themselves as experts. Their knowledge is reflected in how well their listings are written, the information in their About Me page, and how they respond to requests for additional information. They are generous in how they share what they know, whether it's information on their merchandise or assisting a new eBay buyer with making a purchase. Trait number 3, they are amazing communicators. Let me repeat, communication is crucial to your success. You have to know how to write auction listings that accurately describe the product, shipping, payment options, return policy, and other details. You have to respond to questions from bidders promptly with complete and courteous answers. More importantly, you have to be able to communicate with the winning bidders immediately at the close of the auction and maintain the communication until the transaction is complete. Trait number 4, they are persistent and learn by doing. Successful eBay sellers don't give up easily. When an auction doesn't go as expected, they figure out what they should do differently next time. In other words, they learn from their mistakes, and even when things are going well, they're always trying to figure out how to make them better. Trait number 5, they buy first and sell later. A good rule of thumb is to make a few purchases on eBay before you try to sell anything. Shop a little. See what other listings are like. You'll learn a lot by finding out how their system works, and if that's not enough, you'll also see firsthand what customers go through. Now, don't get me wrong, you don't have to spend a lot of money, and the chances are you'll find things that you would find elsewhere anyway. Here's something else that you might find interesting. Shopping first allows you to build a history under your user ID and earn some positive feedback so buyers will feel more comfortable with you later on when you start selling. This is a great way to build trust. Buy from a lot of experienced sellers and see how they handle things. In my experience, it's smart to copy the good ones and learn from the bad ones. The bottom line is, selling on eBay is the easiest way to turn your hobby or special interest into a business. Just let this sink in for a moment. Whatever you enjoy doing, you have a degree of expertise and experience, and you can turn that into fast cash on eBay. Are you ready to make this business profitable? The ball is in your court. Discover the most incredible and intuitive membership site software today, considered as the world's leading client and content management system. Located at www.memberspeed.com.